Thank you for joining us. My name is Sam Strassner, and I am the Director of University Relations at Arkansas Tech University. Today, we have the privilege of visiting with Abiola Sasore, who is the winner of the 2020 Alfred J. Crabaugh Award as the most outstanding senior male student at Arkansas Tech University. First of all, Abiola, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And I wanted to visit with you a little bit about your Arkansas Tech University experience today, beginning with why Arkansas Tech. You traveled a great distance to come and join us here at Arkansas Tech University. Why did you pick this?
It all started back home. Arkansas Tech was one of a few schools I applied to, and they made me feel very important, wanted, especially an international student across the pond. And they also create a great welcoming environment for fellow students and the Russellville community at large. And that was something I had back home, so I wanted to continue to build that here.
Very good. Regardless of how good a job those folks did welcoming you here, there had to be some adjustment challenges coming from Ireland to Russellville, Arkansas. What were some of those challenges that you faced when you first got here?
I guess the two main ones were my accent. It took a while for people to understand, so I have to like break up my accent and change it up. And then the second one was the weather, especially in summer. It is really, really hot over here and very humid, and we get nothing like that back home.
When you got here, what did you miss most about home?
Probably the people, the food, and especially the accent, just being able to talk freely how I talk back home, and really the people, honestly, and the lifestyle.
So as you go through that process of becoming acclimated to Arkansas Tech and to Russellville in every way, what are some of the factors or the people who really started to make this feel like home for you?
Honestly, the people, especially in Russellville and Arkansas Tech, was it made it pretty easy for me. They welcomed me with open arms within the school, within the. It just felt like home, honestly. Everyone was willing to help you, uh, give you everything you wanted, and just give you a lending hand.
You've been involved in so many different activities and organizations since you've been at Arkansas Tech. What have been some that have been your favorites or the most beneficial in your personal development?
Um, all of them, honestly, but I would probably say government, National Center, and Secretary of Diversity Inclusion has helped me a lot to just speak out for underrepresented students. Being an RA, constantly communicating with students on campus, trying to build a better community within my residence hall or the apartments that I currently live in. So they've helped me in so many ways, especially my leadership skills.
What are some of the projects that you've been able to work on as the Secretary of Diversity and Inclusion that maybe you're most proud of?
Um, My biggest one right now is helping international students, especially with the meal plan. When they arrive on campus, we arrive a couple of days early, and we do not. Our meal plans are not active, so we got to pay out of pocket. So working with Chartwell and Chambers Cafeteria, trying to work up the contract right now to I guess help that in the future.
How does that make you feel to be able to advocate for your fellow Arkansas Tech students in that way?
It makes me feel great. I don't like to take credit for anything, but I just really want to help people who are going to continue this process. Um, and that's probably my biggest thing, really, just helping others, not.
Being a resident assistant is such great preparation for life because you're going to see the students under your care at their very best moments and when they're struggling. What about being a resident assistant do you feel like has helped prepare you for life?
I guess probably one of the biggest ones is just being patient. You meet a lot of people, you learn a lot of things about people, and you just got to be patient with them. Some people will open up to you, some people won't. And it's just the main thing is being patient with them. And if you can be patient with them, they could slowly grow on you. And how I learned that was because I've had, and this will help me in the future in my future workplace or future grad school. Just being patient with others, and they will eventually open up.
Another way that you've helped your fellow students throughout your time here has been as an orientation leader. And so you've had a chance to work with a lot of those wide-eyed freshmen as they first arrived here. Um,
Yes, sir.
Looking back on it now, you've helped so many other freshmen. If you could speak with the freshman version of Abiola, what would you tell him?
Um, that's a good question. I would just say continue to have fun, continue to be open minded, and just enjoy the experience because it goes by quickly.
That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Um, you've also been very distinguished as in the classroom here at Arkansas Tech with your work as a rehabilitation science major. Um, what have been some of the highlights of your academic experience at Arkansas Tech?
Um, Probably one of the most important thing, honestly, the academic, because coming from Ireland, all I focused was on sports. That's all I knew. I didn't think I was a smart student back then. I was a pretty high C, low B. And coming here, I knew I wasn't going to play any sports and I was just education. And after my first semester, I was able to get a 3.8 GPA, and I was like, wow, I didn't know I had it in me. And that motivated me just to continue to concentrate on my education. As my mom always says, education is key and it's going to pave your path to be successful.
You mentioned your mom from a family standpoint. Who helped make you the person that you are today?
I would definitely say it's two people, my mom and my brother. My mom, they're both right there, both my biggest motivators, my spine. My brother, he's my right hand man. He mentors me every single step of the way. When I grow up, I hopefully get to be half the man that he is. My mom, I just do everything for her. She's done so much for me. She's just done so much for all of us, and I just want to give back what I can. And education is probably the biggest thing to give back for her. Whenever I get a single award or make A, I always let her know. Just to hear her say, I'm proud of you, goes a long way for me.
You mentioned back home in Ireland, you were active in sports, and I believe I remember from looking through your materials, you also have been involved in intramural sports at Arkansas Tech. If you could just both back home and then here, what are some of the sports you like to play?
My biggest sport is soccer, definitely, or I guess as we call it back home, football. Um, the best sport in the world, and I love it. And then getting to experience that here is different. How it's played is also a little bit different. So just learning it, comparing it, it's made me become better as an athlete as well. And basketball is super competitive over here. It is starting to grow. I guess I was one of the main stars back home, and then coming here, being in shadows of other people, learning those from others, and just challenge compete on the next level with other people during intramurals. And I enjoyed that a lot because I'm very competitive.
And you've found a way to mix some of the skills you've gained in our rehabilitation science program and that love for athletics for what your next step is. If you could tell us a little bit about your next step.
So my next step is I'm going to continue my education, and I'm going to go on and do my master's at the University of Central Florida in athletic training. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait. The reason why I chose athletic training was because back home, we don't really have athletic trainers or physical therapy. So when I got injured a lot, it was very pricey to go to hospitals and get x-rays. So I had to learn how to rehab myself off YouTube, watching different YouTube videos, learn how to ice, learn how to tape my ankle. So I just want to give that back to students who don't have the opportunity to go see a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. just to help them become the best athlete they can be on and off the field.
What are your long-term aspirations?
Um, will definitely get my master's here. Hopefully get to work with a Division 1 team here in America, or a professional team, especially in the soccer field. Maybe I'm slowly learning football, so that's been pretty interesting as well. So I would love to get into athletic training in the football department. After maybe a couple years, hopefully go back home, start up a sports clinic there, and just continue to just give that back to my community, especially as I said, we don't have physical therapists, athletic trainers back home. And that's slowly something that's growing, but to be able to go back home and start up a clinic or a program would be my biggest goal.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you get to Central Florida, folks are naturally going to ask you where you got your bachelor's degree, and you're going to tell them Arkansas Tech University. And when they ask you what was that like, or what are you going to tell them about Arkansas Tech?
I'm going to tell them Arkansas Tech is, if you want to feel like a person, not a number, then that's probably the best place to go. Arkansas Tech is a family environment. And if you just to like to love on people, to like smaller class groups and professors and faculties that constantly are on your back, and motivating you, pushing you to be successful, then honestly, Arkansas Tech is the place to go.
Well, and the reason we're visiting today is because you have been judged to be the most outstanding senior male student at Arkansas Tech University this year, the winner of the prestigious Alfred J. Crabaugh Award, named for the gentleman who is remembered as the father of the modern intellectual tradition at Arkansas Tech, one of the most significant figures in the history of our university. And you're joining a very distinguished list of winners of that award that stretches back more than half a century. When you consider all of that, what does it mean to you to be the winner of the Alfred J. Crabaugh Award?
It means a lot to me, honestly. I just want to thank God first, but I don't want to just take this award just for Abiola Sasore, but this award goes to everyone back home, to my community, everyone here at Arkansas Tech who's helped me. So a piece of that award is going to go towards everybody, not just me. And I do this for the people I love, the people I care, and continue to pave that way for others and leave a legacy by the people who are continuing to grow in Arkansas Tech and back home.
Is there anything else about your Arkansas Tech experience that you'd want people to know?
Um, No, I think that's pretty much it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's unfortunate that, we're in the situation that we're in right now. I wish I was, continuing out in the schools and just helping others and just communicating with others.
Well, Abiola, thank you very much for the visit today.
Thank you, sir.